You're listening to the sounds of the WATE, the world according to Eli.
You are now tuned in to the number one podcast in the world, The WATE, the world according to Eli. Music, sports, video games, and culture. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the host of our show, Mr. Eli.
All right. Welcome to The WATE, the world according to Eli. I'm your host, Eli. This is my co-host, my dad. And welcome to 2020, guys.
Welcome to 2020 and another episode of The WATE, the world according to Eli.
Sports.
Music, video, sports, culture. Let's get it on. How was your new year?
My New Year's was good for the first half.
And then some tragedy.
And then some tragedy happened. The Patriots losing the wild card. We'll get to that.
Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. But like I said, if you can wear this jersey, then I can wear this jersey because we're both losers. Yes?
At least we're more relevant than you guys.
My thing is, if you lose, you lose. Me and you will be having snacks, sitting on the couch
Watch the
watching
other games, yeah. Watch
other games.
Other games, yeah.
Other games, you know what I mean? But speaking of those other games,
Let's get into the first one. The Bills facing the Texans.
what did you think about that game?
I thought... I had the Bills. We both did.
Yes.
Because I felt like the Texans were too wishy-washy in the last, 5 games.
I actually had the Texans in that game. The only road team I had winning was Seattle.
Oh, okay.
Now, but the only reason I picked the Texans because I felt this was the first year that Buffalo was making the playoffs. And I felt they had a great regular season, but I didn't know if it would transfer over to a playoff win.
Didn't they make the playoffs last year?
I don't think they made the play. And even if they did, I think they just missed the playoff last year, if memory serves me correct.
Okay.
We'll have our statistician, Malcolm, look that up for us from last year.
Yeah.
So I thought that when a team makes the playoffs for the first time,
Right.
you know, that's good enough. You clap your hands.
Yeah, you have a sophomore to junior quarterback.
Yeah, and I felt the
But
Texans...
they were both in the same draft, so...
But the Texans did make the playoffs last year.
They
You know
did.
what I mean? So I figured this
That
was...
they did.
Yeah, so... And, Deshaun Watson is a year better. They didn't make it last year?
They got bumped in the wild card.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
they got bumped last year. Wow,
Yeah.
Eli's. Let's clap that up for Eli. He knows his stuff.
I know I'm on point sometimes.
All right. I can't deny it. The kid has got skills.
Yeah.
So, but I still felt traveling, Texans, J.J. Watt coming back
Yeah,
could
risking
disrupt some things.
and risking an injury that didn't happen. I'm just saying the
That's
doctors.
that warrior spirit.
Yeah.
But
But up. It was 16-0. The Bills had it in the bag.
I
for the
was
most
saying
part.
the way the Bills came out this game, running that ball, then they threw that flea flicker to the quarterback
Right.
for a touchdown. They appeared to be the aggressive team.
And their defense was outstanding. They had 7 sacks.
But you know what it is? There's 2 halves to a ball game.
Absolutely.
So when the Texans came out of the locker room, they made the necessary adjustments, and I think they let J.J. Watt go a little bit more. They was taking it slow.
Yeah, in the second half, because once it was 8-16, it's only okay. Let's get a touchdown, another 2-point conversion, and see what happens.
And see what happens. And this game goes into overtime, yes?
It does.
It goes into overtime.
And in the second half, JJ made his presence felt on Josh Allen.
yes.
Even a little tap on his
Heated
shoulder.
him up.
And it made him force. And then he even said, I was doing too much.
Right. And then Deshaun Watson, they had him on a sack or two, and
Right.
he escaped a couple
he bounced
of times.
off of both the defenders and threw it down the field.
So that sets up a very good game for next week. But I'm going to give the Texans credit. They played a home game. They won.
Right.
But can they now travel
To Kansas City.
To Kansas City will be the question of the day.
Also, was Deshaun... Okay, so a lot of people say that Deshaun is like the MJ. Of his class, or...
Then what is Lamar Jackson?
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Okay, and I think, listen.
I've been... First of all, I've seen Deshaun play in Clemson.
Yes.
So I know he's
very
capable.
Good. Very good.
And
But that was college.
Yeah, but still, like he's transferring into his professional.
It is now.
career.
I think they built their offense around his ability to be mobile. And another point to be made is he got sacked 6 times.
That's a lot for your quarterback to. But all
They'll
season
close it off.
long. But remember, all season long, I believe he led the league in getting sacked.
Right.
So his protection is poor. In the playoffs, your weaknesses are expounded and exposed. So I believe Kansas City is going to heat him up.
Right.
And they're going to have a spy watching him in case he runs.
Yeah.
And I believe that we'll talk about, those predictions. But let's get to that second game.
Yeah, Patriots and Titans.
It got a little quiet in your room. By the third, fourth quarter, it was getting quiet. And I was saying, what's going on? Ain't the Patriots playing? Because early on, Eli, I'll be clapping and this and that.
Yeah, I began hype.
And then, let me tell you when y'all lost this game. When y'all lost to the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, yeah. We can talk about that.
That was the worst loss that I've seen you guys have because you guys needed that extra week to prepare.
Side note, I don't know if people noticed, we've lost to that team 3 straight times in a row in the last, between 15 and week 17.
Yeah, so it seemed like at the end of the year, they get better, and I think maybe y'all overlook them or they just have your number. It's a divisional game.
Right.
The divisional games, records don't really matter as much.
Right.
And so you get in this game, you have home field advantage, the weather's perfect.
Yeah.
But it's also perfect for the Titans because they run the ball.
Yeah, and that was the one problem with my defense. I wasn't worried about the secondary because they shut down the entire game.
Right.
It was the defensive line.
The
Derrick
defensive
Henry
line
ran for 182 yards. I think he got a touchdown.
Yes, he was a grown man out there.
And Ryan Tannehill didn't do much.
He didn't have to do. He
didn't have to. And Tom.
Be honest.
Tom overthrew a lot of his passes, and then there was a couple passes where the wide receivers are just not catching it.
Yes, so the timing and the synchronicity between them are off.
Right.
All season long, but after y'all came out to that blazing start, 11-1 or whatever it was,
right.
I predicted that the next 5 or 6 game would determine.
Well, we did good those first of the 5.
Yeah, but
then we faced the Texans,
and you guys were exposed,
right? And then we got robbed or snubbed in the.
So in doing so, remember the playoffs is really about exposing the other team's weakness,
right?
And I knew that if the Titans were able to impose their will and run the ball,
Romo called it. He said if Derrick Henry goes for 100 yards, they're gonna lose.
Right, because that means it's time of possession, which was fairly even.
It was 28-31, but the way if you're watching it, it seemed like the Titans had the ball way more.
It really did. And every time they needed a first down, they seemed to get it.
Right.
And still, with all of that being said, 4 minutes 44 seconds left on the clock. It's a 14-13 game.
Hold on, but they also did. The head coach also did something smart, which he took 2 minutes off that.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget that he did that.
He did some little clever delay of game piece because before the 5-minute mark, you can do that, and they'll just keep running the time off, even though you take the penalties. So it was a strategic move on his part, something the Patriots would do.
Right. So
in a game of that magnitude.
We would have had the ball with 4 minutes left, but we ended up having it for
No. You had the ball.
You're right. Right. It was 6 minutes left.
Right.
I'm sorry. It was 6 minutes left.
Tom got that ball with 4 minutes and 44 seconds.
Right.
And this is signature points where he usually makes his legend. And to his credit, he threw the first couple of passes, got in position, and it was a 2nd and 6.
Yeah.
And he looked off, and he threw it to Edelman. And let me tell you, Edelman must have heard footsteps or something. Because before he caught this ball, he looked up, and he dropped the easiest pass of the game. Yeah. And I believe that pass...
I've seen that whole play before.
Right, with
Wes Welker.
Well, right, but at least Welker had to stretch out. This hit homie in the breadbasket, right?
It depends on which catch you're talking about.
Well, I'm talking about the one against the Giants.
Okay, well, I'm also talking about the one in 2000. But go ahead. Go.
Okay, so my point is, I think if they convert the 2nd and 6 there, they're still in great position because they only needed a field goal. It's not like they needed a touchdown.
Yeah.
And I believe that even though he had a 3rd and 6 opportunity, that really killed the momentum.
And then we had a 1st and goal. We at the 1, and a touchdown makes it 17, I believe 13.
And y'all didn't get it. Right?
And we didn't get it.
Right? They stopped y'all on 3 straight plays or something?
Yeah, 3. Yeah. And yeah, because that was a key moment. But I knew that was gonna happen because I've seen that a bunch of times.
All year long. You seen your team was who they was in the last 5 or 6 weeks.
Right.
Which is Tom Brady don't have. If he had Gronk there, whole new ball game, whole different ball game.
Right. Or even Antonio Brown.
Right. Oh, definitely. But this year he had very minimal to work with, and to me it also exposed that he's getting a little older.
So I know my mind says he leaves, my heart says he stays.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Malcolm on this one. If he stays, Belichick leaves.
Right.
So I think their relationship is done. They've had an amazing run. Let's clap that up.
That was really long.
Yeah, these are long claps. There's a lot of people in the audience.
His last 2 decades, because there's 2 different ones. His first 10 years and his last 10 years, both amazing records.
I mean, you couldn't ask for a better career. 20-year career. You made 9 Super Bowls, which is in essence every other year.
Right.
Your team, and then let's not even count the times they went to the championship game and lost.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you figure that's an amazing run.
Yeah,
but all great runs come to an end.
Absolutely. I think this is over. I think either Tom would go to the Chargers because they have great defense and weapons, or the Colts because they need a quarterback and they also have weapons.
Yes.
And I think he wants to see Bill across the field, one of those big time games.
I'm a Dallas fan, and even though he's washed, I think with the Dallas defense and McCarthy, who has coached Aaron Rodgers, another great quarterback, they call him the quarterback guru. This is auto start. He's on autopilot.
Right.
You put Brady out there, and so trade Dak, get us my man from Denver on the end.
Oh, Von Miller.
And bring in Antonio Brown because he's an unrestricted free agent. You know, Jerry Jones would do something like that.
Sure, he would.
And then go get that last ring.
Because I trust, I think Bill will keep the organization with him just alone.
Yeah, he'll keep it afloat.
He'll keep it afloat with the defense.
He'll keep it afloat.
He'll find a quarterback that he would like, even though he had one in the back of his pocket.
Can't have everything, man. Life doesn't work that way.
Yeah, but
because
me and you still go at this
because Brady sabotaged that. He was like, "You're not gonna pull an Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre on me. You're not gonna pull a Tony Montana,
but you could have
Steve Young on me." Well, he bucked the trend, and because him and the owner had a better relationship than him and Bill.
And then once again, I always say that was a selfish Jerry Jones move.
Well, whatever. He won 2 more rings. And I think he wins the argument.
But we're talking about longevity, too.
2 more rings, and he wins the argument. That's all I'm going to say. And I don't defend Brady much.
Yeah, I can decide who won that.
So what happened on Sunday?
Sunday's game, we had the Vikings and Saints.
Was that the first game?
That was the first game.
Vikings and the Saints. I had the Saints in this one.
I did, too.
I said, no way Cousins can win a playoff game in that dome, considering what happened to the Saints last year.
And then 2 years ago with the same
team, a wicked play.
Right.
You know, so I said the odds are in the Saints' favor.
But
at least
I didn't trust their defense. After watching them play against 49ers, you gave up
49 points.
49 points.
But I looked at that as an anomaly
because the 49ers gave up
46 points, and they don't usually give up that many points. And then I always say, tell me who your quarterback is.
Right.
I'll tell you who's going to win this game.
And then I didn't see the urgency with the Saints at all.
So I'm thinking the era of the pocket passer
it's done,
is pretty much done.
Now, but Drew does have a little bit more in the tank than compared to Tom.
No, he might have a little bit more in the tank, but this era of get the ball, stand there and look around, and you know, unless your timing is a little on, your quarterback has to be able to be an extra offensive weapon on the field so he can pass and run and catch.
Right.
Now you got to be able to catch because, you know, you do that little fake play, and now he got to run down the field and catch something.
Yeah.
So it really all depends on, you know, what you build around them.
But I
didn't see this coming.
I'm watching the whole second half. I'm just like, where's the urgency with the Saints?
Right. Where's that get up and go?
First of all, it doesn't matter that y'all 13-3. Y'all in a wild card game.
Yes.
It's not like y'all have a bye. Y'all watching.
Absolutely.
Waiting for somebody to come into your building. Y'all in the wild card.
Y'all in the wild card
Y'all
game.
lost to this team 2 years ago.
On a freak play. Right.
And Drew got like.
How many yards did he have in this game?
He had. Let me see.
209 yards or something.
Yeah. Actually, we didn't write it down.
Okay, he had something like 209 yards.
Yeah.
And that's not enough.
But he had 0 touch. Right, you're absolutely. But
in your building.
And he had no touchdowns.
No touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's unacceptable. It's unacceptable.
Now, here's the thing. It goes into overtime, long story short. And then we now have a redo of what happened last year with the Rams.
Yes.
It was clear pass interference call.
But this was offensive pass interference, not defensive pass.
Right, often, but they still would have had... No, but that would have benefited the Saints.
Yeah, it still would have benefited the Saints. Had they reviewed the play.
Right.
Because they put this rule in place.
Right, because of what happened last year.
Right.
And you didn't... First of all, you didn't throw the challenge flag, which was...
I don't know if they could have threw the challenge flag. I heard, but all touchdown plays are reviewed anyway.
Right.
All scoring plays, so you don't have to throw the flag on a scoring play. They were supposed to go, we're going to review this.
Right.
Because he clearly pushed off.
Yeah, absolutely.
And not only did he push off, he was bigger than
But then I thought about what you always say, which is in the final seconds of a game like that, you're not going to call that.
Right. You're not going to call it unless it's blatant. And his head did go back, the defender. And I thought it was enough to sell that, to say something took place which impeded my path. And long story short, no.
Yeah, and so now they're the second team behind the Packers to lose 3 straight times in a row on the final play.
Wow. That's something, man.
And 3 different rounds, too.
That's something because that's something you got to live with all offseason.
Right.
You know, last offseason they had to deal with the clear pass interference. The year before that, they had to deal with the freak play.
Yeah, with
and now this year they got to
yeah.
deal with a push off. The Saints they don't have saints. Saints is like your guardian angels. They have no saints.
Right.
Yeah, they're the unsaints or something.
I mean, I don't even
They're
know.
the ain'ts.
Yeah.
Because that's really crazy.
And I don't know what's going to happen with Drew Brees now. Like,
now he's just playing for numbers.
Right.
You know, he'll just pad a few more numbers.
Right.
You know, him and Brady will fight and to see who's going to be the all-time passing touchdowns and all that kind of stuff.
So our last game was the Seahawks versus the Eagles, 17-9.
Seahawks versus the Eagles.
Russell
Very
threw for
good game.
328 yards and 1 touchdown.
And yes, which is great. And Wentz got hurt again.
It was a double concussion because he got hit in the back by Clowney and then his head hit the turf.
Yes, and some people say the Clowney play was dirty. Did you think it was dirty?
No, it was just a tackle. Stop being a baby.
It was on the borderline of a little extra. But this is a playoff game, so you expect a little extra.
And it's freaking football. Like,
yeah, but still, the way they're protecting, quarterbacks.
So why didn't you call roughing and passer?
This is my point. This is what people were saying. I'm not sure that would have had an impact on the game per se.
Right, because he obviously didn't come back.
Yeah, and even if he played, I still say the Seahawks.
Yeah, but I think it would have been a little bit closer.
Right, and they're slowly integrating Marshawn Lynch.
Right. Into the system, right.
He didn't get a lot of touches. I think he only had 7 or 8 yards rushing.
Side note, because the Vikings won, they don't have to face the 49ers this week.
Which is good.
Right.
Because you'd rather face the 49ers for the money.
Right, absolutely.
Yes, and that'll be on the 19th.
And their backup quarterback, you know his name, Josh McCown.
McCown.
They left the paint wide open for him.
Oh, yeah, but that is... When you're 40 years old.
But that's what I was getting to, because he looked like he acted like he was 24.
Yes. Because your ego and the athleticism, and you will say.
And the adrenaline.
Yo, I can make that 15 yards.
Right.
But that 15 yards is like 30 yards.
No, and it wasn't even 15. It was like really 7, because all you need to do is get the first down.
But it looks like 15, you know? When you running like this, you running in slow motion. It's like, and then you got these big linebackers barreling down on you. Yeah. But you know what? I give him credit. He played as hard as he could.
Yeah.
And that was his first playoff game at 40 years old.
Right, and he got them in the red zone at least 3 times.
Yeah, and they just couldn't convert. Yes.
Right.
So And he was all emotional and teary-eyed.
Right, and what's the tight end name? Ertz had to console.
Yeah, console him and stuff like that. And so it's one of those things that is setting us up lovely for next week.
Absolutely. In other news, the Cowboys hire Mike McCarthy.
Mike McCarthy. Now, I think this is a good hire.
I don't like the hire.
I like the hire because he has experience. I think he's a little bit more hard-nosed than Jason Garrett will ever be. His reputation used to be of a quarterback guru, which means he could maybe give Dak some of the, a guidance that he needs. He's walking into a ready-made championship.
I thought you were going to say responsibility.
No, he's walking into a ready-made championship the way the Cowboys are constructed. He's not walking into the Miami Dolphins where he's got a 4-year projection.
Right.
No. If he does what he's supposed to do, I think, was it the fancy hire or probably not.
I just thought that was just like a safe. I mean, I liked it better than Marvin Lewis because.
But here's the thing about Marvin Lewis, which we didn't give him a lot of credit for, which was brought to my attention. They said the Cincinnati Bengals are the poorest team in the league. They don't spend no money on no free agents or nothing. So whenever you get an 8-8 record or 9-7,
and he did bring them to the playoffs
7 times. They just didn't win. Right. So what that says is, if you take Marvin Lewis and give him a ready-made team, he may produce better results than we gave him credit for. Because we used to ride Marvin Lewis like, oh, this is the worst coach ever.
Right.
Not necessarily when you understand the backdrop where the owner just ain't spending no money. He's like, yo, you got to take what you got and work with it. You know what I mean? Where other teams, Jerry Jones and these other teams, because there ain't no salary cap in football.
Right.
They just go out and get who they want.
For the most part.
So, to give
and
him
I
some
thought
credit.
y'all were going to go with somebody younger from like the coach from Oklahoma.
Urban Myers was out there, yes?
Yeah, I think he was considering.
As a powerful football mind of the college ranking.
But I was thinking of like a Sean McVay. I thought y'all were going to go from the college.
Oh, okay, yes, from the Rams.
Right.
Sort of like that, yeah.
Like the coach from Oklahoma, because I know y'all that.
Oh, yes,
they were looking at him.
was looking at him as well. But I think you go with the experience.
Yeah.
Because you have an experienced team.
It's a weak division. All you got to do is get 10 wins. And
absolutely. So I feel that had the Cowboys been a younger team that's maybe, not as good as they have potential to be, you go with a younger coach. This guy has to come in, and he's in the hot seat right away. He's got to get the job done.
Yeah.
And if he gets the job done, it just shows you how bad Jason Garrett was, who the Giants might hire as their offensive coordinator.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. In other news, the Rams are thinking of firing.
They did.
They did? Okay.
Wade Phillips is out.
All right, so the Rams fired Wade Phillips. Y'all can consider him.
Well, they didn't fire him. They didn't renew his contract.
So basically, they just parted ways.
Right, and McCarthy already has his defensive coordinator.
Oh, okay.
So he's already coming in with that. I believe it was, I forget the guy's name. He was a head coach for a few years in the league.
So what do you think is going to happen with Wade Phillips then?
Wade Phillips is an old school kind of defensive coach, sort of like the guy who's the defensive coordinator for the Patriots. Black guy. Grinnell. Sort of like him. These guys are old school. He's going to land on his feet because he's a Super Bowl champion. He is. And he took the Rams to the championship.
Right.
They just didn't get the job done. But they only gave up 10 points in that Super Bowl and only 3 for 3 quarters and change.
Right.
So, you have to give his defense
a lot of credit.
A lot of credit.
Yeah. So, Tua is entering the 2020.
What do you think about that? Do you think he should have stayed another year? Does he have anything else to prove on the college level?
Not really. I'm worried about the injury.
Right,
the hip injury.
Like, can he recover?
Right.
But technology, because that's the Bo Jackson injury. Right. But technology has come a ways.
But other than that, I think somebody will gamble on him in a late, maybe, I think because of injury, his stock dropped a little bit.
It's going to drop.
He'll be either an early second rounder or a late first rounder.
Okay.
For a team, that needs a quarterback. And then we'll see what happens.
Okay.
You're listening to the sounds of the WATE, the world according to Eli.
Let's get into some NBA news.
Let's get into some NBA action.
Harrell, sorry, it's
What's his first name? Matt Harrell from the Clippers.
Montrezl
Harrell. Yeah, Montrezl Harrell.
He called out the Clippers after they lost to a weak team that they were supposed to be.
Memphis put up $140 on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he called him out and he was just like, why are y'all calling us one of those big dog teams? We just, like, somebody needs to wake up.
Because there's some internal strife going on because Paul George and Kawhi never practiced together.
Right.
So this is what we're hearing.
Mixed, chemistry issues.
The chemistry issues is off because of the load management.
Which is why haven't they practiced that? Because it's been like
I have no idea. I have no idea what is going on. And I don't know if Kawhi is damaged goods. And what I mean by that is I don't know if he's if he's more hurt than they're leading on, but they know if he gets to a playoff series, they can rev it up because there's no back-to-backs.
Right.
I don't know because as young as he is, I wouldn't be worried about load management as much as he is.
Or maybe he is worried about that ankle injury that he had.
Something ain't right because as young as he is and he has a chance to put a stamp on his legacy.
Well, if it, like we always say, if it does pan out, he will be doing that.
Yes, and I don't like it.
But I think the surrounding cast, besides Paul George, is having an issue with that. I think that's why Harrell called that.
And that's why what we call internal strife.
Right.
Because he's being treated special. And the next game they played the Knicks, and in the first quarter the Knicks put up 45 points.
Right. And one of the other games, Paul George didn't play.
Yes.
When I think that was the game that Kawhi played.
Right, and so they playing back to back, like he play, you play, and the Knicks put up 132 on them, and they only beat them by 3.
Yeah.
And again, this is becoming an issue because the veteran crew that's been there,
knows what they're doing. Yeah,
they know what they're doing. But when you add two major pieces like this who are not on the same page, look at Anthony Davis and LeBron. They playing every game.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're trying to build a chemistry
and make it work,
so that when the playoff come, everybody know where they're supposed to be. Unless the Clippers think because they beat the Lakers 2 games that they got this wrapped up. This is not wrapped up.
No, I think it's mainly for the long haul. I think they're trying. See, here's the problem with the load management with this whole entire thing. It's not the East. And Toronto was able to do that.
And they not only was it the East, Kevin Durant didn't play.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm talking about in the playoffs, though.
I'm telling you, if it wouldn't have panned out. If Kevin Durant plays,
no, obviously that, but I think too. I don't know how they was able to beat Philly Philly was that makes sense, but what about Milwaukee?
Milwaukee just choked. They should have beat Milwaukee. I mean, Milwaukee should have beat them.
Right.
Milwaukee had home field advantage. Milwaukee had the better team on paper. Milwaukee should have beat them, in my humble opinion.
Absolutely.
So,
I agree.
But it still wouldn't have got them a championship. And remember, Toronto was 18-5
without him. Yeah.
Without him, so it ain't like he, So we'll see how that's gonna pan out.
All right.
I don't know.
Well, my dad is excited that the Houston Rockets are number 2 in the West.
No, I'm surprised that they are tied for the second team in the West, considering
so are the Clippers.
This experiment that they're running with Westbrook, who has the poorest.
Also, yeah, Westbrook has the poorest efficiency
rate
in the league.
And I'm hearing him and Harden are beefing. Maybe creative differences, nothing,
obviously,
major.
And then it's starting to look like you can't play with anybody. I'm talking about James Harden.
Yes.
This feels like the third experiment that Houston is trying to give you.
Absolutely.
To try to win championships.
Absolutely.
And it's not going to pan out.
At some point, you have to take responsibility. So you're a one-man band who can't play with others.
Right, and then you have a point guard who, on offense, I would have picked Chris Paul.
Right.
Because Chris Paul can shoot.
And not only can Chris Paul shoot, he knows how to run. He understands the pace of the game.
Right.
His IQ is higher.
Right.
Right? So I say and look at what Chris Paul is doing in OKC.
Keeping them afloat. They're like number either 7 or 8 in the West.
Yeah, and I think they're 11-2 or something in their last.
Yeah.
Or 9-2. They've won a lot of games that people expected them to lose because he is a steady hand, and he can't be traded because he owed too much on his contract.
Yeah, nobody wants that contract.
Nobody wants to pick up $80 million on a 2-year deal.
Yeah.
For a 36-year-old point guard.
But I mean, I still don't think this project is gonna work. But I'm not really surprised.
No, I'm not. I don't think it's gonna work. I think it'll pan out. I mean, they'll taper off.
Right.
I'm just saying they're finding ways to win ball games early on.
Absolutely. Anthony Davis had 8 blocks behind Shaq.
Yeah, and
that was the most behind Shaq's 9 blocks.
Behind Shaq's 9. They ended the game with 20 blocks, one off of the record for the Lakers, which was 21. And what I'm noticing is the way their defense is constructed. McGee, Anthony Davis, and Dwight Howard.
Those are long.
And not only are they long, they're not long and lumbery.
Right,
they're long and they can athletic switch on some things. So I think that's going to help the Lakers in the long run. Now, the Clippers have a different situation.
Yeah, they have better shooters
and
or more shooters
and wing defenders.
Right.
But if the Lakers funnel everything to the inside, they got help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
I
LeBron
think
is playing better defense.
I think that they were thinking about moving Dwight Howard, but I think they kind of...
No, they renew his contract after today.
Oh, okay. So he got a guaranteed contract.
His contract is guaranteed, and I think he's earned it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, he has something to play for. The Lakers could be moving Kuzma. We'll talk about that in the field.
Yeah. The Milwaukee's been on a float. They won 5 straight.
Yes, they won. They lost one recently to the Spurs last night.
Oh, okay.
So the Spurs got at them.
Okay, so that streak is...
But they still have the league's best record.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I do know how they're doing it because they have bigs.
Right.
And they have spreaded 3-point shooters, which gives Giannis, the space he needs to operate.
Absolutely.
So we'll keep an eye on that. I think they will make the finals or they have a better shot, but I like Boston.
Yeah, definitely.
I like what Boston is doing.
I like Boston too, and I like Miami. Miami's a sleeper.
I think if Miami makes one move before the trade deadline,
like a good Chris Paul,
or something of that matter, because they can afford to eat that contract.
Right.
I believe that they could surprise a lot of people.
Detroit's trying to move DeAndre Jordan and probably Blake Griffin.
No, not DeAndre Jordan.
Drummond.
Drummond. He has kind of like a weird contract.
Is it light? I mean, is it?
I think it's heavy, but they can move him. Blake Griffin is going out on knee surgery.
Yeah, it's they're saying it might be a season ending.
Season ending. He just came back.
Right.
Remember in the playoffs, he missed the first 3 games of the playoffs, so his career might be a wash.
Absolutely.
I like the Derrick Rose. I told you, I think the Lakers should go get Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
He would add that one piece at the point guard position, and he can get his own shot if he can stay healthy.
So let's move into the Kuzma situation because I found out like last night the Kings are aware of the Kuzma situation and they're trying to give up. They're trying to offer Bogdan
Bogdanovic?
Yeah. The Kings.
Bogdanovic. He can play.
From the white shooter.
From the Utah Jazz.
No, from the Kings.
Oh, from the Kings. He's on the Kings now? Oh, yeah. He dropped 35 the other night.
Right.
Yeah. So, for Kuzma, I don't know if that solves the situation. What I mean was when LeBron goes to the bench with Anthony Davis.
I mean, but you do need another shooter.
I need another shooter.
Oh, you need another ball shooter. Like
I need somebody who can get there.
Shot. Yeah.
I need Jamal Crawford.
You don't need a 3-and-D guy anymore.
Not as much.
Right.
I need a Jamal Crawford who can get his own shot, hit the 3,
right,
but can dribble because the way the Clippers are going to play defense, they're going to load up on LeBron and they're going to load up on Anthony Davis.
Absolutely.
And force one of these 9 dribbling guys to beat us.
Right.
So I say use Kuzma, but you got to get something of great value from it. Because LeBron don't like young players anyway.
Yeah, he doesn't. David Stern passed away.
Our condolences. David Stern has done so much. The NBA transcended under David Stern's tutelage. He saw the Magic and Bird situation for what it was,
right,
and started putting those games on prime time when nobody else, because them games used to be pre-recorded, like and on the West Coast, and nobody. So he saw the need to do these things. Right. Along with when Michael Jordan came into the league,
yeah, absolutely, and
he really expanded the league overseas. The WNBA, he did a lot.
The only thing I got a problem with him with is the 2010 free agency or draft
when he vetoed
the Chris Paul thing.
Yeah,
for Kobe.
He did y'all dirty. Yeah.
Because we signed Dwight Howard in the free agency.
Right.
And then we would have had two big. Come on, that's beautiful for the brand. You got one big team in the West, one big team in the East.
Yeah.
Got to meet up and clash.
Yeah. He did y'all dirty.
But other than that, you know.
Other than that, yeah. So our condolences go out to him.
Yeah.
And his family.
Kevin Love is looking to get out of Cleveland.
Yeah, he's starting to, and I'm hearing Cleveland is asking him, help us trade you. So if you have some teams that are interested in you, we can, because he's a veteran guy. Cleveland is obviously rebuilding.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. I was like, why would you sign that 5-year contract? But I get it at the time because of the Browns.
No, you got to get that money. And he's not a 3-and-D guy. He's a 3 guy.
Yeah.
He don't play no D.
Yeah.
He don't play no D. But certain teams, like you said, Portland, but I can't see him and Melo on the court at the same time because neither one of them play defense.
No, but here's the thing. You put Melo at the 3 because they lost Rodney Hood to the Achilles heel.
Okay.
And then you put Kevin Love at the 4. But you do need to break up the backcourt. One of those two has to go. Sorry. Doesn't work out.
Well,
and I heard it's a alleged rumor, but Portland is looking or considering to move CJ.
Really?
Yeah, allegedly.
Okay, well, that's word on the street. But if you put, that could work. Melo could play the 3.
Because Rodney Hood is out for the...
he tore his Achilles.
Cat wants out of Minnesota.
I'm confused with him. I thought he wanted to get rid of Jimmy Butler. And now they said, this is your team. We choose you, Cat.
Right.
And now you want out.
But here's the thing. I don't understand, but I get it on certain levels. Why sign a 5-year contract then? If you know you don't want to be here.
Money.
But then you complain that...
Absolutely. See, you could have said, nah, I'm not going to sign, and then tried your hand in free agent, and then it would have been a bunch of teams who would have went for him. You know what I mean? A guy who can give you 30 and 10 on any given night.
My only thing is, you can't sign a 5-year contract with the team that
and
drafted,
then ask to be traded.
And then ask, why are we not contenders for the championship?
And then we're in Minnesota. It's cold. It's a small market team.
And they lost all 3 of their big men. They lost Kevin Garnett to Boston.
Yes.
They lost Kevin Love to Cleveland. And now they're going to lose Karl Anthony Towns to whoever wants to pick him up.
Yeah. So give me the power rankings of the 5 teams this week. Top 5.
Top 5. 1 is the Bucks. 2 is the Celtics. 3 are the Lakers. 4 is Miami Heat. I'm not surprised because Miami's killing it. And 5 is the Clippers.
I'm surprised they have the Celtics ahead of the Lakers. I guess.
I'm assuming maybe better record.
No, the Lakers have
the better record.
Yeah, the better record. But okay, all right. Those are our 5 teams.
You want to talk about Kyrie Irving?
Oh, Kyrie Irving
had a press conference on Sunday
to discuss a new injury.
Yeah.
Because I thought he was out on a knee injury or something.
Yeah, but he said he got a shoulder, he can't lift it.
Now he can't lift his shoulder, he can't shoot.
And then they might have to reconsider.
I don't know, man. I don't know about Kyrie Irving. I mean, I know about him, the person. That's not what I mean. I don't know.
As a player.
I don't know what his mindset is. This is going to be.
But you did say he might just be doing this just until Kevin comes back next year.
Yeah, he might go like, I don't even want to play this year.
That's what Golden State's doing.
Yeah, and just take a knee until him and Kevin can get on the court at the same time.
Right.
Maybe that's what the deal is.
Vince Carter and Ja Morant are considered. They're gonna enter the
dunk contest.
Ja Morant is thinking about it, but we have so far Zach LaVine, he's gonna be back.
Okay.
Dwight Howard, he's gonna be in there.
I don't know why.
And people want Vince Carter to be in there.
Well, they want Vince because of
this his final year. He's
nostalgia.
a dunker, yeah.
I think Ja Morant And first of all, Vince Carter, let's clap this up, is the first player to play in 4 decades.
Right.
And you want to recognize that. And
should have only really been maybe 3.5.
yeah, but
Right.
listen, he's still out there.
Right.
And I thought if you're gonna stay this long, at least try to go get a ring.
Yeah,
Why
exactly.
You re-sign with the Atlanta Hawks.
Exactly.
I don't know what that's
Or
all
go
about.
to the Kings.
Yeah,
and
go
then Dallas.
Yeah, you know.
And then Brooklyn.
But it's not my life; it's his. But I would like to see John Morant in the dunk contest.
Yeah, I think he will enter. He's gonna win if he does.
I'd like to see Zion Williamson in the dunk contest.
Zion, speaking of Zion, he'll be back. They're saying allegedly he'll be back in the early 2020s.
He's been in 5-on-5s. You know, and once you start going 5-on-5, that means you just about ready.
Do you think they can fix the way he walk?
No, I think the way you walk is the way you walk. Now, I do think when he gets back, because Ingram has been playing so well and Lonzo of late has been playing well,
Right.
there's not a lot of pressure for Zion to be the savior per se. I think Ingram is happy he got out of L.A.
Okay.
because he's really, playing to his potential. So is Ball. And I think you can add, Zion to that mix and they'll become formidable in a year or two.
Right. Okay.
Right?
Because England's been playing. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been playing good.
You're listening to the sounds of the WATE, the world according to Eli.
What's going on in the world of culture?
All right. So Joaquin Phoenix won Best Actor in Drama
Let's clap that
for
up
the Golden Globes.
for the Joker. Yeah. That's one hell of a performance.
Heath did it back when he played the Joker.
Right? So it's setting it up for the Academy Awards.
And they won also for Best Original Score.
Original score, yeah, the soundtrack was pretty
So
dope.
yeah,
Yep,
they
score.
went half and half on that. Let me see. Sorry. Best Actor. And then the baby went to jail, but he got out Saturday.
Right, the baby, one of my favorite new artists.
Yeah. Mine
You know
too.
what I'm saying? Yeah,
Mine
he
too. First of all, guys, he's about that life. Stop messing with him, please.
yeah, but he has to be smarter
Yeah.
because
granted,
there are going to be people who test him just because they want lawsuits or
Right.
fame. So
Right.
he had an issue with some promoters who didn't pay him.
Yeah.
And he went to his immediate street code.
Right. Right. Which is pay me my money.
Yeah, pay me my money, and you can't do that.
Prayers go out to Australia with the wildfires.
Absolutely.
There's been a whole lot of that.
There's been Armageddon out there, man. It's really bad. So our prayers go out to all
And I
the
heard
families.
you gotta start prevent that with the other fires. Like they had to meet instead of just.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah,
Or how
instead
the
of
fires have to meet to stop the fires or something?
Yeah, like
it's
you gotta
some
be-
really
yeah.
weird science behind that.
And so
And that's what that is.
You're listening to the sounds of the WATE, the world according to Eli.
alright.
So let's make our predictions
Yeah.
for the divisional round, yes? All right, who do we have on Saturday's first game? 4 o'clock.
Vikings versus 49ers.
Vikings versus 49ers. I'm going to take the 49ers in that easy.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a 2 to 3 touchdown win.
I think it's gonna be 35-14.
Yeah, I say the same thing. I don't think Cousins can do it 2 weeks in a row on the road for 2 weeks.
But I'm happy he broke his streak.
He got to win. I believe the 49ers are hungry. I believe that they know that if they win this game, they're sitting pretty for the next game in their building, which is Levi Stadium. I was saying Candlestick.
Yeah.
Show you how old I am. And so I'm going to take the 49ers in that 35-17.
Yeah, same here. Second game, Titans versus Ravens. I got the Ravens, say 28-7.
No, I think it'll be a little closer because I think the running game of the Titans.
Yeah, I'll give Derrick Henry one touchdown.
No, but I think clock management. So I think they'll keep Lamar Jackson off the field more than he would like to be. So I'm going to say 21-17, a close game, but I think the Ravens get that done on Saturday. Now let's go to
Sunday's game. It's Texans versus Chiefs. I got the Texans.
Texans versus the Chiefs in all of that red in Arrowhead Stadium. No, I'm going to take the Chiefs in this one because it's going to set up a very good AFC championship game.
Deshaun Watson and Lamar would set up a great one too.
It would, but I just think Mahomes has got his team where he wants them to be, and now he don't have to go through New England, so he could be
Texans 24-20, 24-21 Texans.
I say it's a shootout, and I'm gonna say 31-21 Chiefs.
Okay.
Because I think Mahomes is gonna fire that rock.
Last game, Seahawks versus Packers. I got the Seahawks.
That's a very good one. You got the Seahawks.
I got
in that
Seahawks
one?
35, Packers 28.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna take the Seahawks by a close game again, 21-17. I believe it's gonna come down to who has the ball last.
Okay.
If Wilson has the ball, I think he wins.
Packers defense is shaky.
And I think if Aaron Rodgers somehow keeps the game close and he has the ball, he executes. So that one is going to be a pick 'em.
Are you side note? Are you excited for the Bad Boys 3?
I am excited for Bad Boys 3. I've seen 1 and 2, and I'm married to the series, so I have to complete it.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, honey, buy the tickets now so we don't have any problems when we get to the theater because we're going on the opening premiere.
Yeah, man.
And so where can we be reached?
We can be reached on SoundCloud, iTunes, Twitter, IG, Snapchat, YouTube, and Facebook, all at the WATE Podcast. Follow me on all social media platforms. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the little bell notification, and I will see you guys next Tuesday.
We'll see you next week. We are out of here. Peace.
You are now tuned in to the #1 podcast in the world, The WATE, the world according to Eli. Music, sports, video games, and culture. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the host of our show, Mr. Eli.